Sometime between November and December of 2026, a massive tradition in the chess world shatters. For the first time in the history of the sport, we will witness a World Chess Championship match where both competitors are only 20 years old. When you look at the final table, the names that have defined the board for a generation are missing. There is no Magnus Carlsen, no Fabiano Caruana, no Ian Nepomniachtchi, no Ding Liren. Stepping directly into that vacuum are two 20-year-olds with contrasting identities. On one side, the reigning world champion from India, Gukesh. On the other, the challenger from Uzbekistan, Sindarov. Neither player has spent a decade adapting to the specific, grinding rhythm of championship cycles. They are arriving at the summit without the usual veteran data to guide their nerves or their preparation. At this elite level, the technical differences are microscopic. Without a veteran's experience to dampen the emotional slams of a 14-game match, the struggle becomes an agonizingly personal test of who can maintain their composure longest. Gukesh took the title from Ding Liren in 2024 through a style of suffocating precision. He is known for methodical, long-term positional maneuvering, slowly crushing his opponents while maintaining a perfectly blank, machine-like expression at the board. But defending a title requires a different mindset than winning one. The moment you become champion, the hunt ends, and you become the league's primary target. This visualization shows the reality of modern preparation. Every top player in the world has spent the last 2 years running their supercomputers overnight to isolate microscopic flaws in Gukesh's opening repertoire. Knowing that your opponents are armed with hidden, machine-generated traps creates a constant, simmering baseline of anxiety for a champion. We are beginning to see the weight of that target. Gukesh's famously unreadable demeanor has started to show tiny, visible stress fractures during recent high-stakes games. Sindarov represents the direct antithesis to Gukesh's current state. He is a high-momentum, calculated risk-taker. During the 2026 Candidates Tournament in Cyprus, Sindarov went entirely undefeated. He secured 10 out of 14 points, clinching the top spot with an entire round to spare. He achieved that margin by systematically dismantling a field of seasoned veterans, including former title contenders who were heavily favored to win. Sindarov acts as an apex predator at the board. He actively seeks out muddy, highly volatile positions, dragging his opponents into deep calculative waters where his sharp tactical vision gives him the advantage. He plays with the absolute, terrifying freedom of a man who has no title to protect and everything to gain. These two mindsets collided recently at the Warsaw Grand Chess Tour. In their first matchup of the event, Gukesh managed to grind out a grueling victory in the rapid section of the tournament. Gukesh's reaction was revealing. He let out a visible, seated fist pump. For a player whose brand is pure stoicism, that gesture shows a massive release of built-up internal pressure. Days later, in the blitz section, Sindarov violently struck back. He completely dismantled the world champion in their revenge game. When Gukesh resigned, Sindarov offered barely a nod and an ice-cold handshake. He showed no celebration at all. By refusing to give the champion any emotional feedback, Sindarov proves he is immune to the intimidation of the title. To him, beating the best player in the world is simply a normal day at work. This friction will reach its peak this November during the 14-game championship match. Gukesh wants to dictate terms, steering games into ultra-solid, locked pawn structures to minimize risk over long hours of maneuvering. Sindarov's goal is the opposite. He will fight to create asymmetrical imbalances, forcing the champion into constant tactical chaos. Gukesh is betting that a perfectly closed, risk-averse structure can survive Sindarov's obsession with creating tactical fires on every square. The championship will likely be decided by a single lapse in concentration during the final, exhausted hours of the match.